Welcome back, guys. Welcome. We have a low tier match today. It's been a while since I last uploaded, but I'm back on the grind. Was busy, so let's get straight into it. So today we're bringing Max Defense Anaconda, Banded Adaptability Basculin, Bulky Elder Glass, Assault Vest Flareon, no typical Sash Quiver Dance Butterfree, nothing special here today, and Haunter. Not rocking the EVA light though. Got the Black Sludge for us, a bit of recovery. On our opponent's team, we see some threats in the form of Toxicroak, Golurk, and Cameron. We all know what Milk Tanks do. He has a Elder Glass of his own and a Togedemaru. Togedemaru has some nice tech with that spiky shield. It also gets Wish and has good speed. As for my team now, as we can see, the main attacker I have to keep alive is my Basculin, because he can literally 2-hit KO even those ones that resist waterfall like Elder Gloss. So straight out the gate, my opponent comes swinging, leading off with his Wincon, Cameron. This is such a bad matchup for me. I probably don't even have a good switch into this, because even Hurricane would decimate anyone on my team. I could play Brave and switch into Flareon because he has the Assault Vest to take a Hurricane, but most likely he's going to go for the Surf. So I end up switching into my Basculin here to resist and see how much damage this does. As we can see here, it doesn't take it very well, and I do not even want to try to flip turn because of its ability Gulp Missile. I'll be taking quarter of my max HP plus getting -1 defense. So I just double out as he goes for another Surf to try and take me out. But all he ends up doing is watering my seeds. We shall have a nice spring next year with all this water. But anyways, we go for the Sleep Powder, but he makes a very good play here and switches into his Milk Tank, which is Sap Sipper. I hardly see anybody using Sap Sippers, normally Thick Fat I encounter when I'm battling. But my opponent makes a very good read and protects himself from the Sleep Powder right there. I switch, and then in comes my Haunter, the lovely Black Sludge, as he goes for his Stealth Rocks, getting all his hazards up on my side of the field. And I decide, hey, looking at his team, there's nothing that will take too kindly to a burn, even if it's a little chip damage. So I go for the Will-O-Wisp, as he is about to go and switch into his Togedemaru. And here it comes. In comes the Togedemaru, and it's gonna come and take a lovely burn. Now, in my mind, I'm not staying in here, because you know Togedemaru carries that move Nuzzle that always paralyzes. So I decided, hey, let's switch out and bring in Anaconda here. Maybe now I will get the chance to set up my own rocks. And he goes for the Zingzap, which was a nice read on my part. Maybe an easy read, but nonetheless, still a good play. So here I finally get my opportunity to set my rocks up, getting my stones all between his toes as well. As I decide to get my rocks up, my opponent switches, bring him back in Wincon. I like shiny cameras. Shiny cameras has a very nice color. Unlike some shinies, I don't know what Game Freak was thinking. They could have used a better color palette for a lot of these other shinies, but nonetheless, shiny camera Looks very good. So yes, I switch out on his camera to bring in an elder gloss, knowing he's probably going for a surf, but he reads me and goes for a hurricane and misses. So I see Iron Jesus was on the stands in my side again today. So I decide, hey, let's probably just at this. I could probably survive one, and let me get off a rapid spin to get rid of these hazards. And he decides just to switch out, probably fearing the sleep powder again. Here I'm thinking he's probably going to set rocks up again, so I'm going to take this chance to get in my butterfree before these rocks go up. So I make my switch and see what he does. And as I thought, he sets his rocks up again. The rocks will be very instrumental in crippling my Flareon, which hasn't seen the light of battle as yet. But anyways, I come in and I decide to get up a quiver dance, and he switches out and brings in his Togedemaru. This here is a telltale sign that this Togedemaru is scarfed, but I did not make that read at the time. Only hindsight is always 2020. But I'm tinted lens, so I decided to go for the bug buzz, and he reveals that he is scarfed, paralyzing me with nuzzle, and I come through and bug buzz takes him out. Tinted lens is actually no joke. I got the motivation to use this tinted lens butterfree from one of my friends who was telling me about it probably a couple days before this battle, and I have never actually used tinted lens butterfree before. But anyways, he brings in his wing con, and I decided, hey, let's just go for another bug buzz. I assumed he would have actually went for hurricane, but he's probably afraid that he would miss again, so he went for the ice beam instead, and I happened to just live with 2 HP. Maybe it was min damage. In comes Toxicroak, and here I will sack my butterfree. Thank you for putting in all that work. You did good actually. For the first time I've actually tried it, but you did good. So I sack butterfree to a shadow ball, and then I come in with my Flareon. This Assault Fest Flareon should take hardly any damage at all from the special attacking Toxicroak. Toxicroak is always such a bane in my side. For some reason, every time I team build and go into battle and my opponent brings the Toxicroak, I always struggle. Always struggle. Maybe I like too much water type, so it ends up countering my offensive mons, which most of the times are water type. As you can see, completely walls my Basculin set. My Basculin set is Flip Turn, Waterfall, Superpower, and Crunch. And Toxicroak completely walls that set. And I always struggle anytime I run into one. But anyways, after hitting that milk tank with a Flare Blitz to the face, I switch into my Elder Gloss. In comes my shiny baby. And he goes for a milk drink, regaining some much needed HP. So yeah, I'm gonna take the time to get rid of these hazards once again. And then he reveals that he has the toxic. I'm not too worried though, since I have the aromatherapy. But here I rapid spin, and then I make a misplay after this, because my thinking was, okay, I got rid of hazards, He knows I can get rid of hazards, so he probably might take this time to switch and try and get some offensive momentum. But he just sets back up the hazards again. And here I go for the sleep powder thinking he would switch and boop, trigger off the sap sipper one more time. But luckily for me, it does not seem to have the body slam. So far we've seen milk drink, stealth rocks, and then later he will reveal seismic toss and toxic. So he does not carry the body slam. Lucky for me. So there he goes, revealing the seismic toss. I wasn't too worried since I actually, as I said before, I have the aromatherapy. So I just go for rapid spin again, get the hazards gone, and then I will switch. In comes my haunter. And he also withdraws. I know that this thing will definitely decimate my hunter, so I just go for the shadow ball just to get some damage on it and basically give up my shadow ball, my hunter, to this toxic hook. And there he goes, down in one hit. That kind of makes me wonder if this toxic hook was specs. But anyways, we come in with Flareon now, and you know what we're gonna do. Flare Blitz to the face, man. So in comes my Flareon, no rocks to worry about, and I just click Flare Blitz. It's like something has to come in, and no matter what it is, it's not gonna like it. But he actually stays in and goes for the shadow ball again, and that does literally no damage. And I finally take this toxic rope out, and now Basculin is one step closer to taking out the rest of his team. So in comes his Golurk. Later on, you're gonna see another mistake I made in this battle. For some reason, I keep thinking that Golurk gets priority in like Shadow Sneak, and I made a misplay. But anyways, Golurk comes out, and I'm thinking, hey, let's get Sanaconda in here, because I'm running the max defense Sanaconda. But as you can see here, this thing is banded, and banded Poltergeist is no joke. This thing does literally about 55-57%, and there's no way Sanaconda will be able to take two of those. This actually caught me so off guard. So I'm just like, hey, that's it. And Sanaconda goes down to another Poltergeist. My only choice here now is into the Basculin, but he still has the Elder Gloss in the back, and Elder Gloss will not be 2-hit KO'd after rocks by Waterfall. So I decided to go for the flip turn first and see what I can do after that. So I flip turn, and that's actually a crit. The crit does about 48%, and I get my Flareon back in on the offensive. I don't know why I was looking at my Elder Gloss. The play here was Flareon. There's only one play. So I get my Flareon back in, and you know, only one thing to do: Flare Blitz to the face. And he switches, and in comes his Milton. Milton comes in and takes it, and I live with 15 HP, and after Sandstorm have enough to go again. So I go for another flare blitz. I don't know why I'm looking at my team. Probably was thinking of making a mistake here. But yes, we go for another flare blitz. And his best play is just to stay in and heal up. Because he's faster anyway. And he comes out with more HP than before. Luckily for me, the sandstorm dies down, and here comes the MVP. In comes my Basculin, and as you will see, not even Elder Glass after rocks at the current amount of HP it has will be able to take 2 hits. In comes Elder Glass, that's probably 90%, 85, and look at that, that's easily 40, maybe 45%, and he has no chance to stand 2 of those. So we go for a waterfall again and finally take it out. And here's where I make the mistake, because I was thinking this thing might get Shadow Sneak. For some reason I was thinking that Goler gets Shadow Sneak, so I decided so in comes my Elder Glass, and as you can see here now, here I wasn't thinking, because if I had remembered I would have realized that this thing was actually banded, because this takes out bulky Elder Glass in 1 hit. Like, this thing wasn't even making any jokes at all. So here I know that for sure, I remember now that it was banded, and coming down to the last 30 seconds, all I need is enough time to get off 2 waterfalls to clinch the win. So 1 waterfall down, Golurk's down, Milk Tank is the only one left, and all I need is just the right amount of time to select my move and finish it off. So I can definitely say this was one hell of a game. Props to my opponent again, Google Shack. I think he changed his Discord name, so let's just say props to my man Shack.com. I'm definitely looking forward to another battle with him again.